All right. Welcome to episode 4 of Live at the Tobey House. I'm Fred,
I'm Mark.
and we've got another interesting show, I hope, for you. We've got a guest, as we promised. We'll, as we can, bring in characters from Sandwich and introduce you to them and have them tell their story. Today, we've got Jeff Govoni,
Yep. Excited.
who wrote a book. Maybe we can hold that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called For Jarvis Street. And Jarvis Street is right in Sandwich Village. It's kind of the hub,
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's yeah.
intersects with Main Street, and when it comes to restaurants and little stores, it's one of the feature streets in Sandwich Village. And Jeff grew up there and wrote a book about it, and he's here to talk about it. So a little later, he'll join us.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited for him.
but
Yeah.
first, you've been reading the comments.
Yes, yeah. So thanks everybody for writing in. We'd love to hear from you. I want to call some folks out here, give you a shout out. Aiden Kelly 225. Really like the tour of your house, Fred, and wanted to thank you for that. Roland Tubernacher 8279 from Austria. Thanks for listening from afar. Great to see we've got a little bit of worldwide reach.
Yeah,
huh?
sure. Yeah, the power of the internet.
That's right. Celtics fanboy 92 was talking about I think he said he was 6'2" or 6'3", and being in an antique house with the low ceilings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the struggle is real. So duck your head, Celtics fanboy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean Callahan, 5685. Hey, I know you.
Yeah.
He wrote in about getting some mail that it looks like you're getting a check in the mail, but then you open it up and it's like a fake check or
Oh
an
yeah.
ad.
Oh, I hate those.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they get so clever too, like pay to the order of, and
Well,
right?
and it used to be when you got mail, if it was first class, okay, this is legit, you open it up. And if it said pre-sorted, it was probably junk mail. But now a lot of companies are doing pre-sorted.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, if it looks even halfway legit, you have to make sure that you at least look at it to make sure that you're not missing anything.
I know. But then I got mad because I'm like, I just spent 30 seconds of my life opening this garbage
I
that you
know.
sent me.
I know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the U.S. Post Office, regular mail's kind of going away, but
Yeah.
every once in a while you get something important in the mail. So
That's the
yeah,
thing.
I still kind of check everything.
I do too.
Yeah.
We get a lot of mail. Like most of it's junk. Do you guys get a lot of mail?
Oh yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say a lot, but there's something in the mailbox every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you get it straight to your house?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because some people go to the post office and have a mail
Yeah.
box there that they open every day. But
Yeah.
I have to go across the street, as you saw in
Mhm.
when we did the tour of the house in episode 2. My mailbox is across the street, and that's where I go. It's kind of like Green Acres. But yeah, there's something in it every day.
Yeah. So I mean, they got us right. I'm looking at that mail because you're right. There might be a check in there, and sometimes there is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bill, sometimes it's a check. A lot of times it's just garbage.
Do you notice, speaking of checks in the mail, in your insurance company, you have a deductible that you have to reach
Yep.
before now you don't have to pay anymore?
Yeah.
But you still get bills when you think you've, done with that deductible, and you pay them, and then you get checks later on in the mail. Does that happen to you? They
Once in a
refund
while,
you?
yeah. Like if I paid and then they paid and I
Yeah.
get something back.
Yeah.
I wish that happened all the time.
I get it like 3-4 times a year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's lucky.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
lucky. Means I'm paying too much.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I'm not making any money. I can tell you that much. It's just refunding me money I shouldn't have spent in the first place. But
yeah. The mail's an interesting topic.
yeah, we'll do a whole thing on insurance.
Right.
Later on.
Yeah.
Especially at my age, you have to start thinking about what happens when you stop working and you need to go on Medicare and all that stuff. So
Yeah. No, I look forward to that.
Yeah.
So should we bring on Jeff?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, here comes Jeff Govoni.
Okay, we are joined by Jeff Govoni. Jeff, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
And by the way, before you leave, I got to remember to show you something I found on the internet. It was a Govoni who was a member of the Sagamore Rifle Club back in 1935.
Oh, I'm sure it's relative of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking it had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you that in a little
Oh,
bit.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So this is Jeff, and Jeff wrote For Jarvis.
Yep.
For Jarvis Street, which I've read about 3/4 of the way through. Mark, you finished.
I blasted right through it.
And I had a great time reading it. I've only lived in Sandwich for 6 years, but
Okay.
I went to high school at DY,
Okay.
and I lived in East Dennis. So, obviously the Cape I'm very familiar with it.
Right.
Mark,
Yeah.
lifelong.
Lifer.
Oh, from
Lifer.
Sandwich.
Yes.
No
Yes.
kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yep. So good to meet you. Thanks
Nice
for
meeting
coming
you.
over.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So why did you write the book? And by the way, do you know Gene Shepherd? You remember
Yes.
Gene? When I read your book, I was thinking of the Gene Shepherd show on radio,
Oh,
because it was
absolutely.
very much like the audio essays that he used to have. And for people who don't know Gene Shepherd, his stories are the Christmas Story movie
Right.
on TV, but he used to have a show called the Gene. So Jeff's book reminded me of Gene Shepherd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big inspiration of mine, actually. I had read In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash, which is what
Yeah.
The Christmas Story is part of that. And PBS had done 2 of his other things that dramatized them after the movie came out. So that was, but you asked me why did I write the book? I wrote it in part because I was inspired by like storytelling like Gene Shepherd's. I kind of felt like that was part of the way I sort of envisioned myself even as a kid. It felt to me like Sandwich, and I still feel this way, that Sandwich had become what Sandwich never was.
Which is?
The Sandwich of my earliest years was a blue collar, largely immigrant community, Italians and Irish Catholics, and some Finns, who, it was, the whole idea of gentrification just didn't exist. I suspect it was probably similar to Dennis and
I mean, I lived in East Dennis, and so that was in the 70s.
Yeah, same as me. And like having, grown up right in the middle of town, my great grandfather gave the Dame Webster in its name, that in there.
That's wow. Okay.
Yeah. My family owned that place and various other businesses. And I just felt like I wanted to, I don't know, I had this urge to explain to people that what they see when they come to Sandwich isn't what it really is, or really, it is what it is now.
Yeah.
Right. But you had a different experience, because Sandwich today is I think you use the word gentrification.
Yeah.
Back when you were a kid was much different, and it was, Jarvis Street in Maine was really the hub of Sandwich, right?
That's all there was. I mean, the Jarvis Street used to have, at one point, multiple grocery stores, not just,
okay. More than one.
Okay.
Okay.
There, the place that is now Vintage Modern right in the corner of,
Yeah.
that used to be a grocery store.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the apartments that, at one point was called the Novelty Block. They've taken that it used to say above the building, the Novelty Block. It doesn't say that anymore.
Okay.
That was an A&P.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And then there was a, where Russell's Market was, that was the last to go. That was where, for most of the week, people did most of their shopping.
Okay.
Like if you needed to do a big shop, you went to Buzzards Bay.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
This is even before they opened up the big grocery stores on Route 132.
Okay. So Hyannis, you weren't going to, you're going over the bridge.
Yeah. 132 was Dennis. Yeah.
I think you mentioned in the book the grocery store is over in Buzzards Bay. That's now that liquor store, right? I think over that
right,
way.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's correct.
So I mean, that was a little bit of a hike if you needed to do a big shop.
No, so everybody, I mean, it's conceivable that you lived your life in Sandwich, rarely getting in your car. It was, everything was there. And but consequently, like I got the feeling like it was a much bigger town than it ever really was.
Yeah.
Because everyone was always there. I mean, the graduating classes back then were, like, when my dad graduated from Sandwich High School, this is not a time that's covered in the book. There were only 14 kids in the graduating class.
No kidding. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, I went to Dennis Yarmouth, and, you know, living there, Sandwich was kind of off the radar.
Oh yeah.
You know, there was Falmouth, there was Barnstable, and, Hyannis,
Mhm.
and I played in all the sports teams, but, Sandwich was kind of like, no one ever went to Sandwich if you weren't from Sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a reason to go to Sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I live in Vermont. My wife and my family live in Vermont, and I was talking to somebody who grew up in Plymouth, and I said, "Oh, I grew up in Sandwich." And he said, "Isn't that just the woods?"
What are you doing down there in the woods, right? Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons we do this is to tell people all the great stuff about Sandwich.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting because, for us now, Plymouth is it's a 20-minute ride up Route 3, lots of great restaurants, all that stuff. We go to Plymouth all the time. But this guy from Plymouth didn't.
No.
Yeah. He thought we were living in the sticks down here.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, just from a quick intro, I know we kind of jumped right into it. So you were at the Gardner Supply Company up in Vermont for a number of years. After that, you started a leadership development company, and you're still doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of winding it down, but
Okay.
I love that work, so I take what comes my way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then you mentioned you had a line of Town Neck branded clothing that you had kind of developed for your kids to do. Was it like summer job kind of stuff?
Yeah, so my wife and kids, went from Burlington to Sandwich all summer.
Okay.
We moved our lives down there, which made having a summer job kind of hard.
Yeah.
They couldn't have one in Vermont. They were going to have to leave it pretty early.
Yeah.
So I came up with this idea that, well, they can sell T-shirts at the beach.
Not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see it, like, we have kind of mothballed that business, but you'll still see people with their Town Neck T-shirts walking around. It was a popular T-shirt for a period of time.
I wonder if maybe that could be revived, because Town Neck is very popular.
Well, now with the
right?
treehouse,
The treehouse
Yeah.
and all that.
brewery and all that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
Which I still haven't been to.
me either.
You're kidding.
No, I've never been to the tree. Well, when it first opened, it was a real pain in the ass to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Applications,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
But I should go. Everyone that goes says, they really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm happy for them. And that new parking lot they're doing, I think, is going to hopefully take care of a lot of the parking
Right.
problems that
Yeah.
are over there. So, yeah, good for them. But anyway, just an idea, maybe bring that back.
No, it's a good
right?
idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
So, would you say that For Jarvis Street is a coming of age book for you?
It's interesting because Bob King interviewed me for an author talk. He
Mhm.
mentioned Bob from who's been on the show.
We had him last episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
He read it and he said, Jeff, this is more than a coming of age story. This is a coming to terms story.
Okay.
And I said, tell me more about that. I think I wrote it. So when I started writing it, it was like an offshoot of the Town Neck Company a little bit.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I was writing these humorous 1,500 word essays,
Mhm.
Sort of like Gene Shepherd meets, I don't know, pick another one.
What, the
David Sedaris. Or something.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Land Diaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of them, and I thought, what is the story here?
Mhm.
What is it? What's the thread that connects them all? And it took me a long time to sort of figure out what is it that I'm really trying to explain, because I left Sandwich.
Yeah.
I have a house on Town Neck,
Mhm. Yep.
but I live in Burlington, Vermont. So,
Yeah.
and I remember, when I left Sandwich, it was a long while before I really came back, and it
Mhm.
kind of took my dad passing
Mhm.
for me to have this urge to come back.
Okay.
So that's when I realized it's a coming of age story in the sense that it covers that time when we all come of age.
Yeah.
But it's also this story of me, or of trying to figure out identity.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I know as
Yeah.
I was sort of thinking about it, like, Sandwich has struggled to develop its own identity. You're sort of alluding to it, that back when you were a kid,
Yeah.
we're probably similar in age.
Yeah. I think I'm a little older than you. I
Yeah.
graduated high school in 79.
Okay, 83.
Yeah.
That you know, Sandwich didn't have. I mean, I have cousins who are live in Barnstable and Falmouth. They they had no idea what Sandwich was. I mean, like we're right here.
Right. Yeah. And so close.
So it was this thing of identity. It's really about not just coming of age, but trying to develop an identity. And I still think Sandwich struggles with identity. It's so, fracture's not the right word,
Disjointed,
but disjointed
maybe?
would be a good
Yeah.
word.
Like, Bob King, we had, like we said, we had him on last week, and he was making the case that, the leadership of Sandwich doesn't really get the idea that, we need to attract tourists here, not just for restaurants but for the historical nature of Sandwich. It's the oldest town on Cape Cod. And so he believes that the history of Sandwich and that part of it is a package that they need to really promote, invest in, and sell, to get people here. Then when you're here, you find out about all the other things, the restaurants and heritage gardens and things like that. But he doesn't think that they get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he has a point there. I would say that what he's experiencing, because Bob came to Sandwich in 82. Sandwich has been experiencing maybe as long as they've been,
A little identity crisis. Maybe?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Sandwich used to be all of the Upper Cape. Oliver Bourne was part of Sandwich.
Yeah.
Until, 1890, whatever it was. It was not that long ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is kind of, we've got the village here, which is, this is the historic area of Sandwich, but then you have Forestdale and you have the
East
military
Sandwich.
base.
Right. Yeah.
And you have, I don't know, what's the company that has all the big trucks going off and on,
Right.
130 all day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you have all some kind of industrial park up the street.
Yeah.
And so like you said, I wouldn't say it's fractured, but there's different identities within Sandwich.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you actually, this comes back to your earliest question, like why the book? Because, one of the things that would kind of rankles me is the sort of the glossing over of the sort of industrial coastal towns that were all up and down New England.
Yeah.
And so Manchester becomes Manchester by the Sea or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And, for me, Sandwich meant something very specific. It was the village of Sandwich.
Okay. Yeah.
My dad has that connection to Sandwich, but his parents also owned a popular kind of nightclub, dinner club in Forestdale.
Okay.
He grew up in Forestdale. That was it. So in my mind, I was like, Fort Jarvis Street is also like an elegy to village life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very different from Forestdale.
Very different from
Very
Forestdale.
different. Yeah.
There are still some villages, Bristol, Rhode Island comes to mind that, but a lot of them have they've become it's just kind of different.
Yeah. Do you think it had to be like that to survive? That they had to adapt?
I think that what Sandwich does do well is survive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What I don't think you see, this might be partly what Bob is alluding to. You don't see the kind of investment one needs to thrive.
Yeah.
Even when they put up all the stores outside where Heritage Theaters are.
Katuitt, they call it the Golden Triangle area.
Yeah.
It has a little slapdash kind of quality.
It
to
does. It's very disjointed. I think. Yeah.
I mean, that's Tom Sokolos's vision, and he's done it. He's he's in the book.
Okay. Yep.
And so, I have a great affection for him and for what he's done, but it's not like there's what's the coherent story that you're telling here?
Yeah. It's interesting. For folks who haven't read the book, and I absolutely recommend read this book. It's great. Well, it does take place, in Sandwich, and, for me growing up in Sandwich, I knew a lot of these places, Butner's and all those, but I think even if you're not from Sandwich, you're not familiar with Sandwich, it's still a fun
Yeah.
book to read. And your gang of four and the things you guys do and growing up and working at the pizza place, like that could really happen in any
Right.
town. And not to diminish your experience, but
No, absolutely.
I don't think it's, you don't have to know Sandwich to read this book and really enjoy it.
Well, that's why the first thing I thought of was the Gene Shepherd story, because
Mhm.
those are essays about his kid, but it could be anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I went to college, or people said, "Oh, you lived on the Cape," like, what was that like in the winter? Like, what?
Yeah.
So it's just like, we did everything you did. We just did it on the beach.
Right.
We
Yeah.
drank beer, and we'd go down the beach to drink beer
Right.
instead of the woods, or
Yes. Yeah.
some parking lot. It's
Right.
like, it was the same as
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm married to a woman from rural South Dakota.
Okay. A very
Yeah.
different experience.
Very different experience. She loves Sandwich. She loves Cape Cod.
Mhm.
Her sister read the book, and it was just a lovely, exchange with her. She's just loved the book. And she's like, this reminds me of my hometown. I mean, this is South Dakota,
Right?
rural South
Yeah.
Dakota.
Yeah.
And all of it makes sense. This is a woman in South Dakota who completely relates to a boy on
Yeah.
Cape Cod story.
Yeah. I mean, I think, what you experienced, a lot of us, I'm a little bit younger than you, but I resonate, some of this resonated with me. Is, we're going to go out, we're going to play, you leave in the morning, you don't come home until dinner time,
God,
and
yeah.
you just go out and explore. And, somehow we all didn't die.
Right.
That's what we did. And that's what you guys did.
We tromped around out here.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by Peter Cook's land.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Cook Conservation.
Now, this is, I don't want to give too much away, but the Christmas tree,
Yes.
is that kind of over in this area?
It is.
Okay, Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. So you talk about some serious stuff in the book, alcoholism, maybe some mental illness, some serious things there.
Yeah.
Is your family supportive of this? Did you have to kind of say, hey guys, is it okay if I talk about this, or, how did that come about?
Yeah. I mean, I think the short answer is I think my family's okay about it.
Got it.
I know I have one uncle who is now suffering, but from dementia, who thinks some of what I wrote was bullshit.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of bullshit, we talk about your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope that in the book I make clear that it's never as clear as you think it is.
Yeah.
And there's this little boy, me, who's trying to come to terms with it, and never really quite comes to terms with it. Like, you could tell, hopefully you can tell that the adult me is seeing the little boy me struggle with that.
Yeah.
My mom is still quite, sharp and is alive. And I explain her experience dealing with alcoholic parents.
Yeah.
And I think that she is, you asked me earlier, was she okay with it?
Yeah.
We haven't talked a lot about it. She is proud of her son.
Yeah.
She
was sitting in the front row at the author talk, right? Yeah.
But, one of my cousins, who grew up, right next to my alcoholic grandfather, who was this looming kind of ogreish kind of character in our family, and would have been an eyewitness to a lot of whatever went down.
Yeah.
She and her father also, became an alcoholic, later got sober. She was incredibly supportive of it, and I sent it to every cousin I could think of who might get offended.
Yep.
I
to kind of get ahead of it, or kind of see like how's this going to go down?
To try to get ahead of it.
Okay. Yeah.
To maybe do some downfield blocking.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And, I heard back from many of them, but not all of them. So I suspect I wouldn't be surprised if I learned that some are struggling with some of the stuff in there.
Yeah.
There's a piece in that, I'm not sure if you're going to get to this, where my grandmother, who's a lovely person, Nana.
Yep.
Who eventually succumbs to alcoholism. She gets eulogized, you know,
Yeah.
by a radio personality in Cape Cod.
WQRC, I think it was, right?
Yes.
And a long eulogy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of like idolization of this story. I'm like, it's just, you're overly simplified. I remember being so rankled by it as a kid.
Yeah.
That, you know, and I think that I suspect it's probably true. I don't know. I haven't made a study of this, that people from alcoholic families or families sort of with alcoholics in them, which is to say almost every family,
Sure. Yeah.
can get quite protective.
Yeah.
You know, of that story.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
You know, and I think it was Nana, because at one point were both sets of grandparents in there at one point?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the knocking, again, the knocking was not Nana. That was
Ma.
That was Ma. Okay. All right. And read the book. The knocking, the knocking, for some reason, it made me chuckle just because I thought it was kind of cute, but that talks about dementia and kind of things. But
also it grapples with identity, right? This is a woman who, because of her troubled relationship with her son, her only son, my father, never had an identity that her grandchildren could connect with.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a website to support the book called forJarvesStreet.com.
Okay.
And you can see you can see an image of my grandmother, Ma, making drinks behind the bar at the Peters Pond Club.
Okay.
So
wow.
This is not somebody who is, you know, vacant.
Yeah.
You know,
right. Yeah.
She became vacant, but
yeah. Now with Nana, if I remember correctly, your mother and father sat you guys down at the table, and I may be getting this wrong.
My father did.
Sat you guys down and said, you know, Nana, I
is an alcoholic.
Is an alcoholic. And did you realize that, or were you just kind of, this is Nana growing up and didn't even think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, and I think that part of me, I'm sure, knew. But part of me didn't want to know.
Yeah. I think our age, our generation, sometimes you just didn't talk about things.
Right.
You know, especially in my family. My mother probably was.
Yeah.
But what she was doing is self-medicating because she eventually was diagnosed with MS.
Yeah.
She probably knew there was something wrong.
Yeah.
And she was medicating, and we thought the shaking was from the vodka.
Oh.
And it was from the MS.
Yeah. It's interesting because you and your brothers, and then Nana was upstairs in the room off the hallway, right?
Yeah, good.
So there was.
You're
I'm
spatially aware.
I'm trying. So you guys had a lot going on. So maybe you wouldn't have noticed, you know, Nana. I think she was in there smoking cigarettes or something, right? So that's just Nana, right?
Right.
You wouldn't maybe put a label on it.
Right. She would go. You know, she would sort of on a Saturday afternoon just go missing. And maybe not come down for Saturday night dinner because she wasn't hungry, or she was, you know, passed out.
Yeah.
And you know,
did you know that?
I became, you know, the older I got, the more I could understand. I could tell that odor that I was smelling was perfume trying to hide the smell of bourbon.
Got it.
You know, you know, all my one of her sons, one of my uncles was in the military and would go to different, like, you know, duty-free shops and buy these ornate duty-free like liquor bottles and send them to my grandmother. They were decorative. They're meant to be collected.
Right.
But they would always be empty of alcohol.
Right.
So how was that happening?
Right. Well, she had to get them ready to be collectible. Yeah. So you talk about, you know, how you guys explored Sandwich all over the place. And I think you kind of delineated a couple areas, and it was a pretty big area. Now, would you guys, you know, were you on bikes? Were you on foot? Were it skateboards? Kind of everything? How'd you guys get around? Because I mean, you covered some ground.
It was almost invariably on foot.
Okay.
Like, you know, there was always bikes kicking around. It's funny. I'd get little diversion for a second. So my wife and I, and these people are in the book. My wife and I were sitting down by the marina a few weeks ago, and a guy walks up and he goes, "I know this guy," pointing to me, and I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And he introduces himself, and he is Jimmy Howard. His brother Ray Howard bought.
Oh, we know Ray
He's
really
a
well.
great friend of ours.
Good friend.
Yeah, we know Ray.
Yeah.
He's in Dr. Columbo's.
He's
house.
another native of Sandwich. Yeah.
So Jimmy Howard is older than Ray by, like, I don't know, like maybe 8 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And my brothers and Richard, the Gang of Four, would have rock fights with the Howard brothers. Throw rocks at each other.
Yeah.
And I said to him, like, to Jimmy, like, why did we throw rocks at each other? He goes, it was a village full of boys. It was bound to happen.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you might come home, a little bloody or scraped or whatever, but yeah, like you said, it's just boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Do you have rules like no headshots or anything like that?
Jimmy claims that he got beamed in the head, and I trust him that he did. I don't imagine. I wasn't a good enough athlete to have done it. Somebody else must have done it.
Because we used to have BB gun fights in Dennis. We'd go down to the sand
Did you shoot each other?
Oh, yeah. So there was a rule you couldn't aim for the head.
Okay.
So we would wear like heavy coats.
Okay.
This is the middle of the summer. So like, it didn't hurt. And, everybody would get 20 seconds and you would just spread out.
Oh my gosh.
And
then fair game?
Yeah, and get fair game. Fair
Wow.
game. And they had the crossman that you'd pump.
Okay.
And the rule was you couldn't pump it more than 3 times, but of course they did.
Yeah.
And all I had was the Daisy Red Rider,
Right.
which was like, a pea shooter compared to theirs, but I could get off more shots.
Okay.
So
theirs were stronger, yours were
so they'd have to load each BB one at a time. And I was like shooting.
Yep.
So that was the advantage I had, but it didn't hurt as much.
Now the Red Rider, that's a Christmas story.
That is,
you should try it. Now I remember from that movie, he's pouring in the BB guns and his dad's over there going, "Oh, careful."
Right.
But you could put a bunch of BBs.
Oh yeah,
things, right?
That was the beauty of the Red Rider.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So you guys would just throw rocks at each other, and then
there were always kids and bikes, like sort of strewn everywhere, in the village. The village was my earliest memories. When this is before the supermarket opened up and before the new high school opened up.
Yeah.
I call it the new school. It's now been there for 50 years. I don't even know.
That's all right. Still new. It's not the wing school.
Yeah.
There was.
By the way, I want to ask you what you think about what they did with the wing school. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There were always kind of kids walking around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've said this in the talk that Bob did with me, that in front of what is now the Seal.
Yeah.
The Seal.
Right next door to Fort Jarvis. Right. Yeah.
There was a payphone. One of a few payphones in town. I think there was another one kind of on 6A by near that Italian market there.
Oh, Loradoro. Yeah.
And maybe another one near a gas station, but there weren't that many. There were a few.
Yeah.
And so kids would hang out in front of our house. And my memory of that area is that it was littered with spent chewing gum because they would sit there and just spit up their gum.
Yep.
And so to answer your question, it was almost always on foot. And we tended to gravitate to this place because we could get into the woods.
Yeah.
And there's always things to find out in these woods. I mean, the old tack factory is out here.
Okay.
I think it used to be full of, I mean, if somebody probably did go out there and realize all these nails could be harvested.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of those nails in this house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Those, I know what you're talking about. And I had somebody with a metal detector. He found musket balls.
Oh yeah.
Back here. Yeah.
Interesting. So you guys, you explored Sandwich. You went everywhere. It's interesting because you mentioned Ray Howard. So Ray and I are the same age. Ray said when he was growing up in the village, there actually weren't a lot of kids in the village.
No.
And that's, we're not that far off, but enough where the kids grew up.
Totally.
Right. And no kids replaced them.
Absolutely. It was like a light switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the year that the And Ray would be, a great example of this because Ray is younger than I have a little sister. I have a younger sister, 4 years younger than me.
Yep.
Um, it was already pretty darn quiet. Like when she was a senior in high school, um, I'm just sort of off the top of my head thinking there's probably 3 or 4 kids her age in the village. By then, I mean, it might have just been Ray.
I think it was just
Wow.
Ray. I think it was just Ray because I remember him saying that there might have been one other kid, not right in the village, but close by. But I remember him saying like there weren't a lot of kids around.
Yeah.
What happened?
So the same year, the new high school opens up and Angelo's opens up. So there really isn't any need to be on Jarvis Street anymore. The new high school opens up and where it is, in large part because it's closer, A, to the highway and B, to Lakewood Hills, which is quite a large.
Yeah.
And Lakewood Hills, and then Canterbury kind of grows up around that.
Right.
So now and I would say this is where I think maybe Bob and I aren't on the same page. The historic Sandwich Village made it very hard, almost impossible for a family to live the way a family needs to live in the village. You had to sort of like lovingly maintain these older homes rather than sort of blow it out and put in another bathroom.
Right.
And, so there's almost no parking. There's, if you have a house with 2, more likely 3 cars, there's no way you can't do it. And
Still.
Are they getting a little bit more lax with those restrictions? Because I noticed on Main Street, like that one house, they added to it and basically it took up the whole lot now. You know that house I'm talking. They're still working on it. They've got the construction fence around it.
Oh yeah, I think it's at Liberty and Main.
Yeah, but they've added all to it. So like, that's not maintaining. That's that.
Well, that particular house has an interesting story about the historic board and kind of what happened with that, which I won't get into, but I think they're still pretty strict.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And anything you want to do, you have to go to historic and
I know
get their blessing.
Yeah, that's the case here.
Yeah.
But a little, that specific house, it's an interesting connection to what we've been talking about. So my earliest memory, a very good friend of mine from high school lived in that house. Prior to that, it was people who lived there were kind of a blue collar. I don't know who they were exactly. I think I might know, but I would probably get it wrong. But clearly not much means. They had there was a tree in the front lawn that I don't know if it's there anymore. It might have been lost in a storm.
Okay.
That they had a pretty mean dog chained to, and the dog had there was no grass there. That house was essentially the end of the village. That was like, there was really not a lot down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then they did build homes down there. And there's a thing called, I'm not sure, there's a Facebook page for sandwich people, and I forget what it's
Sandwich Scoop?
Sandwich News?
No, not that one. Sandwich Tiny Scrapbook.
Oh, I don't know that one. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Okay.
There's a guy, he's a docent at the Hoxie House. Chip Hamlin, does that ring a bell? He is part of running that, and he's a gifted writer, but he only writes captions, but they're so compelling. Anyway, that area there was known, according to at least one person on Sandwich Tiny Scrapbook, as Poverty Gulch.
Really?
Anything down the hill there, from that house you're talking about. Think about that now.
Oh my God, those
Gulch.
are huge.
Yeah. Oh,
big
those
money
houses
down
that
there.
are over $1 million.
Yeah, big money.
Yeah.
That's really, wow. That's really interesting. And, again, for folks who haven't been to Sandwich, where you're talking about and for Jarvis Street is what, 2.5 minutes away, like by foot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 streets away. Really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when your parents at the very end, when your parents sell for Jarvis, they move into, I think it was a new house, but not in the Village. They ended up going over the other side of Sandwich, right?
Well, they're in what's it called? It's actually right over here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, off of Tupper.
No, Morgan Trail. Off of Pine Street.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they didn't go too far.
Not too far.
They didn't go too far. But interesting that they, you know, rather than stay in the Village for whatever their circumstances were, kind of went just outside.
Yeah. You know, I was not there for it. But that was a tough decision for them. That was a very tough decision for them. It's funny. They were hoping to condoize the building, which a lot of people do in Sandwich.
Yeah.
But the bank wouldn't give my cousin, who was going to buy the other half of the house, a loan.
Yeah.
Because they said that the building wasn't structurally sound. Well, it's been 50 years and it's
still there. Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, go figure. I was doing some searching because again, I'm also from Sandwich, and in the book you talk about the Horribles Parade, and for folks who don't know about it, read the book. It's the word horribles is
right.
It doesn't really mean that, but it's cool. I didn't know where the history about it until I read your book. I was in the Horribles Parade in 1982, and you talk about the ribbons, the coveted blue ribbon.
Yeah.
And I swear I won a blue ribbon that year. So I was
wow.
Well,
good for you.
I've got a picture which I'll show you, but I was on the Village Broadsider archives.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm like, I'm going to find this because I know I was in the paper. They have 1981 and 1983. I was 1982. There's no 1982 Village Broadsider that I could find. So I couldn't find it.
Extricated.
I couldn't find it, but we did find some stuff. Fred, do you
is that 4?
Actually no, do you just want to do the paper ones and I'll put these on after? Yeah, and then I'll get 4 up. But I did find some fun stuff, some stuff there that I think will be interesting. This is and again I'll pop this up. I think this is you and maybe your brother. This is the Broadsider from 1988.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I don't know. Were you away at school, or was that what was happening then?
I had graduated from college.
Okay.
It's not quaint. At times it can be beautiful, but it's my hometown where I go. Listen to me.
I thought that was kind of great though. And then that is the jam.
That is my brother.
That's your brother. Okay. So again, I'll pop this up on the screen. That was 1988.
That's funny. I had no memory of this.
Now, if we go back a little bit, this one, I love this one. This is from 1978. So this is 10 years before. This is the front page of the Broadsider.
Oh, right.
And do you remember this? This is it. It's microfiche, so you can't really see stuff very well, but it mentions you over here. So I think you're over here at a Halloween thing. What I loved was somebody came as a pack of cigarettes.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine today for Halloween, you're a pack of cools?
Right.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because there's Fritz Lapone. Fritz is in the book.
Okay. All right.
I just talked with him. Mark DiPercio. These people. Yeah, I think we all went as
Greasers, I think.
Greasers,
right? Yeah. And I think you guys, it said something, you won the ugliest were the Greasers. So I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
So it's funny that just really quickly. So my grandfather, my dad's father, who may well have been the member of the
Sagamore Rifle Club.
We'll pop that up.
Big hunter, had got a deer and then had the jacket made into or the hide made into a jacket for my grandmother.
Okay. Yep.
And so it's actually a very nice 1930s kind of like cut, female cut.
Yep.
Lost on me. I didn't know this.
Yep.
My dad's I put a leather jacket. You could wear that. So I put it on.
Yes, I know where you're going with this. Yeah, go.
So I wear that. And then but that it could fit me, it astonishes me. But I was little, and then I sort of slick back my hair, and I go in because if you were in costume, you could come in for free. If not, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And they thought I wasn't in costume. They just
that was just your outfit. That's just the deer jacket. Like, hey, whatever. Yeah. Do you have your genuine colonial stockings on?
Ready.
Yeah.
and that jacket now is my wife's, and my wife is quite a bit shorter than I am. The fact that, but it fits her perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
Jeff you're about 6'4".
Yeah.
So when he walked in the house, he was, hunched over.
Yep. So this one here, so this is on my quest last night. I couldn't find it. So this is and I don't know if this really happened or not, but this isn't you, but I found this July 4th thing, and there's she got third, which I think was a yellow color.
Yeah, it was.
Second was red and first was blue.
That's right.
So she got that. But so can you go to 4, Fred?
Yeah.
So this is me.
Oh, wow.
July 4th, 1982. We were the Campbell's Soup Kids.
Oh, awesome.
That is Corpus Christi in the back.
Yeah.
So we were in the driveway there. Now, in my head, and what my mother told me was we did win blue ribbon and we were in the Broadsider. I can't find any evidence of that. We're not wearing any ribbons, and
You deserve to win something.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. And the Broadsider from 1982 is not. So we don't know, but there we are.
Yeah, I would have seen you. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Everyone went to the parade.
Right. Yeah, so you can switch back. And then the last one is, and I won't say why, but this popped up and I thought that was kind of funny because you talk about their pharmacy, which I think now it's a kitchen store or something, but that was the pharmacy, and that's where you went for.
You don't want to tell why because you don't want to give away.
I don't want to give it away. I want people to read your book because I think it's so good for anybody, whether you're no sandwich or you don't. I think it's a great one. But
you haven't gotten to that part yet.
No. I haven't.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's a fun one, and that was good. Yeah,
Your dad, that the whole part of the bullshit moments really resonated because I think everybody has a relationship with their father.
Yeah.
And my dad's bullshit moments always came at Christmas time when he thought that he had put away the Christmas lights perfectly. But by the next Christmas, they were all entangled, and it was always the swearing.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, like in the Christmas Story, when they're changing the tire, right? And
Oh, yeah.
And he flips the nuts or something, and he swears. And anyway, yeah. This was fun, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was-
I had a great time.
Really,
this was
it was
great.
nice meeting you. We've never met before.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Really nice meeting you.
Yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. So again, Jeff's book for Jarvis Street. I know they have it locally at Titcombs. I picked up a couple copies. I bought one for Ray Howard
Nice.
on Amazon, so I know you can get it there. And I think it's out in a bunch of booksellers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Try to get more. Titcombs keep selling them out, and we keep restocking.
Yeah, you
them.
mentioned Titcombs. People who've never been to Sandwich, it is a wonderful bookstore on 6A. A lot of old books, new books, but just being in the store, it's just a beautiful store to be in.
Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah.
We should talk to them sometime because I think the owners, as they got older, I think they sold the bookstore to the employees or some of the employees. I think there's a story there.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be
We'll
wrong.
have to get to the bottom of it.
We gotta investigate that.
All right.
But Jeff, thanks for coming. We
Absolutely.
really appreciate it.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. All right. That was Jeff Govoni. That was really fun.
That was really interesting and fun to talk to him, learn some more, and definitely check out the book. I think anybody would like it.
Yeah. And like I said, if you are familiar with Gene Shepard or the Christmas Story movie, which are based on the stories of Gene Shepard, that will immediately come to mind when you read Jeff's book.
Yeah.
It's sort of a series of essays from his childhood here in Sandwich.
Yeah.
So
he mentioned David Sedaris too. Have you read any of his stuff?
no.
Check it out. He's very funny. So the Santaland Diaries, I would say, if you the Christmas Story thing, the Santaland Diaries, I would recommend to check out. It's he also does it. He reads it too every year. But he has some fun books too if you're looking for that. So yeah. So anyways, thank you, Jeff. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's that time of the show where we do our shout out, shout down.
Shout it, baby.
So what do you got this week?
All right, so my shout out this week is pickleball players in Sandwich.
Oh,
very specific. So
I hate pickleball. I play tennis. I don't know pickleball.
I'm not into pickleball at all, but there's this thing going on where in Sandwich, apparently you have to make a reservation to play pickleball at the Center for Active Living.
Yeah, which is a beautiful facility.
Beautiful. And there's this Facebook contingent that is going around talking about how the courts are never used because you have to make a
Oh,
reservation.
BS.
Right. So there's a big uproar. This is the hill that this particular group wants to die on. So and again, I
By
have
the
no
way, if
skin
you
in
want
this
to make
game.
a reservation, it's all online.
Right.
You just go in
Right.
and it takes you 2 seconds.
Right. Do it from your car in the parking lot
Right.
of the
Right.
place. But anyway, I'm just getting a kick out of that. So I wanted to give a shout out to the pickleball players. You know, if I think I've got problems in my life, I'm just going to think about the reservation system and things are going to be okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. What about you?
By the way, with
Yeah.
pickleball, they just came out with this new type of pickleball
Okay.
that supposedly reduces the noise.
I heard about it. I think Nashville
Yeah.
just you got to switch,
And the
right?
pickleball players don't like it. It's like, oh, come on. You know, really? Like
Yeah.
you're so attached to that noise that, you know, you can't have a little improvement there. But
Now a pickleball ball is almost like a little wiffle ball.
it is. It's bigger.
Okay.
It's got different types of holes.
Okay.
I do listen. I don't like pickleball. I play tennis. I understand it's fun. I'm not saying it's not fun, but it's taking over the tennis courts and I don't like it.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, my shout down is Stop and Shop meat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and you know what?
Where's the beef?
I've had it. I've had it. The meat at Stop and Shop in Sandwich, particularly.
Well, there's two Stop and Shops.
There's two Stop and Shops now. We mostly go to the one on 6A.
Yeah.
And I'm calling it out. The meat there, more often than not, I get it home that same day, open it up, and it's rotten. I'm sick of bringing my meat back to get a refund. I'm not buying meat at Stop and Shop anymore. Get your act together.
There was a chain called Lion King grocery
Oh,
store,
yeah,
and there was a whole thing that they were changing the expiration dates on their meats.
Ooh, don't do
And
that.
it was a big conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For meat, I either go to Roach Brothers in Mashpee or Whole Foods in Hyannis.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then there's a place up where I work in Foxborough in the next town over, Norfolk, that has a real good butcher shop. So yeah, you gotta, you know, you're paying a lot for meat.
And I'm happy to pay, but
Yeah.
I want it to be good.
Right.
You know, I've noticed, and there's no scientific basis here, but I've noticed that the chicken or whatever you get when it's kind of vacuum sealed, that very infrequently is bad. But the one where they just put the saran wrap over it,
Yeah.
those ones, I'm like, what's going on in there? I'm not going to take it anymore.
I know. Okay, so my shout out is to Christopher Nolan and his movie The Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
You
Haven't
know,
seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Christopher Nolan just keeps coming out with really thought-provoking and intriguing movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did the Batman trilogy. He did Tenet. He did Interstellar. And now his latest with Matt Damon is The Odyssey, obviously based on the poem. Really, it's really good. It's obviously an adaptation. Like, you know, I went back and refreshed myself with the poem itself, and there are some changes that he made, which I think were all good.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times it's like, oh, why did he change that? I think it's a 3-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to take an epic poem and whittle it down to 3 hours is not easy. But I think the things that he decided to do were good. You know,
So I live under a rock, so I know about is it the Odyssey and the Iliad?
no, the Iliad is separate.
Okay, so the Odyssey. How long is the poem itself? Like, if you had to say pages.
Oh, it's a book.
Oh, okay.
It's a book's worth of poem. Yeah, they call it a poem.
Okay.
Because it's in stanzas, you know,
Okay.
but it's as long as a book.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So they took that, made it into this 3-hour movie. I've heard that the effects and the videography and everything are really great.
There's no CGI.
Okay. Oh, it's all real.
It's all real. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm not giving it away. The Cyclops, which is, you know, one of the creatures that everyone remembers from the Odyssey, is a huge puppet.
Okay.
It's not CGI. There was no CGI. He shot it all in IMAX. Really amazing. So I would highly recommend it. My shout down are the people who are trying to politicize the Odyssey. You know, oh, it's woke because, you know, they have some people of color in it. I was like, please.
Right.
Oh, it's not accurate because,
Mhm.
you know, people have, you know, American accents. Really? So everyone should be speaking ancient Greek? Greek and you know, with
Right.
subtitle. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Get over yourselves.
Please.
Yeah.
So it's excellent. And, you know, I remember, you know, the old World War II movies when they had the Nazis, all the Nazis would have British accents.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, come on.
that's not historically accurate either. And
Right.
by the way, it's a poem.
Right.
So, like, historical accuracy is not really kind of a factor there, you know? So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
stop it. Stop it. It's a great movie. Stop trying to knock it down because of what your political beliefs or whatever.
Just enjoy it
Yeah,
for what
just
it is.
enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. So kudos to you for intertwining your shout out and your shout down into the same thing.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Well, that's this episode of Live from the Tobey House. We hope you share it with other people, get the word out. We want to really grow, you know, our audience, obviously, on YouTube, and do more stuff. We've got a lot of stuff planned. So keep watching. We'll keep delivering.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Till next week.